It's time for a little Funky Friday. From their funky hidden headquarters, your hosts, Keith and Gary.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Pop Culture Minefield. I'm Gary, that's Keith down there, and that's Fat Steven on that side of me.
Howdy.
And we are here on this Friday night. I don't think we're going to have that many viewers up front because we changed the time of the show to 6 p.m. And now we're cutting into time for other shows that are going on, ones that we like watching. But, well, you know, I have a job that doesn't let me off until this time. So we'll have to find a way around it eventually. Maybe go later. I don't know. But hey, Zax. Hey, Kaylee. And Tim Possible, of course. I'm not sure what's going on with our panel. I know Purple Valkyrie couldn't make it because she's feeling under the weather. But everyone else, I'm not sure where the hell they are.
Vegas.
No, I mean from our panel, not from other shows. I know where they're at. I'm talking about people that are on our panel that aren't here. So, but anyway, we are here to talk about some interesting news. It's been a crazy week for information, and I'm going to go ahead and let Keith take the lead on this one. Go for it, sir. Talk about what's been going on.
Well, let's just go with what I consider to be the big story of the day, which is the release of a picture from David Ayer's Suicide Squad.
That one.
Yes. Now, for those that may not have heard us talk about this on our show before, it turns out that David Ayer's version of Suicide Squad is a slightly different movie than the one that was actually in theaters. And in terms of what it includes and the direction the story goes. Earlier today, it looks like that David Ayer himself was answering a few fan questions, which he likes to do. And eventually someone decided to ask him, just out of curiosity, was he really still alive, talking about Diablo in your script? And David Ayer's answer was Diablo survived originally. Harley and Deadshot hooked up as a couple, and that all of this was changed during the reshoots.
Because that would have fallen in line with the actual Assault on Arkham animated film where they actually had that fling in the bedroom.
Some of it, yes, some of it. But I mean, the overall, the big thing was everybody had heard that there were a lot more scenes shot with Joker and Harley. And a lot of those scenes were mainly a lot of flashback scenes. Okay. And that the reason why they were flashback scenes and the reason why that there were scenes of more violent scenes between Joker and Harley is because Harley was going to start to compare and contrast her relationship with Joker compared to the impending relationships and feelings that she was having for Floyd. Okay? He's a different type of guy. He's not an abusive guy. And so it would have caused her to look back on her relationship with Joker in a different way. And as has already been revealed through various others who have worked on the show, you would have found out that Joker in the third act would have been the big reveal twist as working with Enchantress. And that for those that still haven't heard the big story, the big part of that was that Enchantress, well known for her dancing in the version that was released to theaters, the reason why she was doing what she was doing had nothing to do with her brother or her suddenly deciding to take over the world. It was because she was being controlled by Steppenwolf, who was using her power to locate the mother boxes. See, when you consider that, Suicide Squad not only makes more sense, but actually fits in as a nice little side story or prequel to the events of Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah, it does.
So we got some other posts. Did you want to talk about those?
Yeah, well, basically, it's David Ayer answering questions from Twitter. He's been rather
Is this
chatty.
the first one?
Yeah, now this is the one that I was referencing. And the other one is, and okay, I should say this was Twitter back in 2020. So he's already answered a lot of questions, but today was the release of a picture that has not been
This is
seen.
the one from today. No?
No, that one's also from 2020, January. He had already, this is falling in line with stuff that he's already answered. So now he's dropped a picture. A day or two ago on a Midnight's Edge, there was the discussion and talk about, I think it was yesterday, about how everything going on with the Suicide Squad and its current box office, which isn't, it hasn't made as much money as Walter Hamada and the current people running Warner Brothers were thinking that it was going to make. So this will negatively impact Walter Hamada's future with Warner Brothers. And the idea is that Hamada is pretty much now understanding that his time with Warner Brothers is growing short. So he's just going to go out and greenlight as many different films as possible in hopes that something will stick and something will be successful, so that he can at least parlay that into a future job, but also being able to be a producer on anything that hits that he's greenlit. He'll also make a little cash on the side.
So there would have been a better cut, and it would have been a lot more flowing with the Snyder going farther. So it seems like, is that why they're so adamant about having the Ayer cut released? Because it would actually show how much the movies would have had been tied together more and a lot more flow throughout the storylines at this point?
Well, originally the reason why they wanted him to change it was because it was seen as being too dark after the release of Batman v Superman, which, as everybody has now found out, was also not very good at the box office, mainly because of Warner Brothers interference. This is all just, it all comes down to the same thing. You had a bunch of people that were screwing around with Zack Snyder and David Ayer. And both films that Snyder worked on, both Batman v Superman and Justice League, suffered greatly from interference, and David Ayer had been interfered with, thus causing all three films to have a lower box office and the kind of reaction from the audience that they got that was guaranteed by all of the goofy stuff behind the scenes. So, yeah, this is a lot of personal stuff for them because it makes them look bad, basically. Majority of the people, though, that interfered with Suicide Squad, though, are gone. So the idea is that as we get closer and closer to Discovery and David Zaslav taking over, the better the chances, at least for certain people thinking, that they should probably go ahead and release the Ayer cut. In fact, releasing the Ayer cut should have happened before the Suicide Squad was dropped. The idea being that it probably would have helped their box office more.
Too true. What else have we got in the news, guys, that we want to talk about before we get to the Marvel thing?
Well, the other thing is that it's looking like, according to Variety, that the Lord of the Rings television series from Amazon will be leaving New Zealand in favor of going to Great Britain to film there. So
Who's doing the effects for it? Do we know? Is it
Weta? You know what? I think Weta might still be, But let me read directly from the Variety story, okay? New Zealand reacts to the shame of losing Amazon's Lord of the Rings mega series. This is from Mr. Patrick Frater from Variety, okay? Amazon Studios' decision to shift production of its untitled Lord of the Rings series from New Zealand to the UK has left the Kiwi production sector in shock. The country's film commission went into damage limitation mode after losing what is possibly the most expensive television series of all time. Others blame ineffective government policies. Filming of the first season started in April 2020 and ran for 18 months, including a hiatus enforced by the coronavirus. Filming wrapped August 2nd. Season 1 post-production will now continue in New Zealand through June 2022, while pre-production on Season 2 will begin concurrently in the UK from early 2022. The first season will air on Amazon Prime Video starting from September 2022. Crew in New Zealand were informed just 20 minutes before the decision was announced on Friday morning local time, Thursday afternoon in the US. It's a shame, and I feel for everyone who has put their hearts into this production. Season 2 was expected to begin later in 2022. So our role now is to work hard to keep the Kiwi screen sector employed, said David Strong, CEO of the New Zealand Film Commission. He said that the series departure opens the door wider to others to come in, and that the New Zealand Film Commission will continue to work closely with government on assisting these productions to shoot in the country. New Zealand offers one of the most generous location incentive schemes in the world. This includes a 20% rebate scheme, and for especially large productions that deliver an infrastructure or other long-lasting benefit to the country, there is a discretionary additional subsidy known as an uplift, equivalent to a further 5% of location spending. According to government documents published in April this year, Amazon was estimated to be spending about 650 million New Zealand or 450 million American filming the first season of the show. It would have been eligible for a rebate of about 162 million in New Zealand money, which is 114 million US. The government said, though it later reduced that figure. Amazon's statement makes it clear that it will walk away from New Zealand's 33 million, 23.1 million in American, of uplift that was agreed in April, when the company indicated but did not commit to shooting the second season in the country. As we look to relocate the production to the UK, we do not intend to actively pursue the season 1 5% financial uplift with the New Zealand government or preserve the terms around that agreement. However, we respectively defer to our partners and will remain in close consultation with them around next steps, said Albert Ching, COO and co-head of TV for the Amazon Studios.
Chief Officer of Operations. Okay.
So,
it's not going to look the same.
Basically, this is really bad news for the people of New Zealand and really good news for at least everyone in and around the UK.
Yeah, this is going to affect their tourism, and even their tourism by a lot, because a lot of people went there, especially after the Lord of the Rings with Peter Jackson, just to take shots, visit the areas that were used for filming or set design and all that, and that's going to be a huge income hitter.
Oh yeah, but you know what? Ultimately, as the representative for New Zealand did say, this is going to open the door for other productions. And again, New Zealand is a gorgeous country. It doesn't have to be just for anything related to the Lord of the Rings. It can be used for a lot of other different productions. And considering what everything was like back in the 90s, back when Renaissance Television was there, filming initially Hercules Legendary Journeys and eventually Xena, and what the size and productions and the type of productions they were dealing with back then compared to what it has grown into now. While that is a hit financially, I don't think they're going to have to deal with having things bad for too long. So,
very good. What's the next story you want to cover? I think it had something to do with Venom.
yes. It turns out that it's looking now like they're going to delay Venom for now, mainly because I think due to the box office performance of both Black Widow and the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, this is the October 15th pushback. So you think it's not just only about income? Is there anything else coming out at the same time they're trying not to fight against? Like, when's Dune coming out? Or is that Christmas?
Yeah. Well, actually, it's closer to. I think Dune will be closer to. I think they had moved it to October. I think. I need to check on that.
I'll see that. Yeah, because that means that'd be kind of weird. October 1st supposedly is the Dune release, and then they push back Venom to release on the 15th, so 14 days after. But are these the same studios or different? These are different, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, one's Sony, the other one's Warner.
So do you think they're trying to that maybe they're not? They're trying to push it back, so at least gives at least a 2-week period that everyone will at least have seen Dune, and that way Venom will have a free market for people not trying to choose either or.
I think, they'll definitely do that to avoid the possibility of basically losing money.
Yeah,
I mean that's really that really seems to be the case. So
yeah, it makes sense though, because they said they first set it to be for the September 24th. That literally gives them a 7-day period or 6-day period before Dune comes out. So they're not going to make any money as soon as Dune drops. So what they're doing is they're pushing it back to a 2-week after Dune effect. So at least it makes people go back to the theater. I think that's the main reason. I'm sorry for over talking, but that's the most logical I can think when it comes to money at this point.
Money. So I want to thank Dadman Walking for giving us a $2.99. I think that's a sticker, or is that a question? No, it's a question. Hail, friends. Just wanted to show some support. Well, thank you, my man. You are groovy as hell. And for that, I should give him a little video snippet. What should I give him? Oh, I'll use the one that you put in here. I like this one.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? What?
I ask that of all my prey.
Before I ask them, here's Johnny. That's pretty cool.
So, thank you, Dadman Walking. We got Socks is here. Yes, Venom will come out the same day as Halloween 2 comes out. I don't know. I think that they're going to do okay. I think Halloween 2's got a little bit of an uphill fight because the first film, a lot of fans were disappointed with it. So we'll see what happens. I'm still going to see it. So.
Actually, that doesn't make sense because supposedly what it's still showing is September 8th, 2021 is the Halloween Kills. That's when it's supposed to. The next Halloween's supposed to come out. I could be wrong, but I don't think they've changed the slate. Unless wait. They're supposedly wait. So it's Halloween Kills, which came out on October 16, 2020, and Halloween Ends. It's released on October. Oh shit, you're right, and I take back that statement.
Okay.
I'm trying to read
it wasn't my statement. It was Socks.
Socks, you're right, bro. Because there's two different conflicting arguments I want reading. Sorry about that, but
don't worry about it. Zax, thank you for the $5 Canadian super sticker.
How's it going?
I understand that they stick better in Canada. So
fuck you.
It's the lower gravity. I'll leave that on screen. I guess we can move towards the next thing, which is I don't know. This went live today. It's on our thumbnail for the show. This was the post, and it was by Marvel Hub, and it is purported to be, well, Moon Knight.
It does look interesting. And I will say that costume isn't what I expected, but it looks cool. It really does look cool. So,
yeah, I got to tell you, when I saw that, I was very pleased because I'm an old Moon Knight fan from when it first launched, and it's a great comic, and I'm interested to see what they're doing. I do like Isaacs. I think he's a really good actor. So, although I wish they would stop making the pool smaller and smaller for who they pick to be in the movies. But that's the original post from Marvel Hub. And if that is true, I'm pretty happy with it. Although I don't see his cape, I don't know what's going on with that. But it's still pretty damn cool. And of course, by itself, here's the photo.
It looks cool, but I'm seeing like parts of the original Stargate film in there. If you're looking at the Goa'uld, it has that kind of feel to it. It kind of looks like
that's a good thing to me.
Well,
I like that
it's
style.
bad, but it also looks like Shredder when he takes off his armor and he's wearing all that crap. It also looks like half Mortal Kombat too. It's like three styles of movies from this year blended into one.
Any other stories we want to cover, guys?
No, not that I can think of, other than the fact that
I do want to talk about what Mikey talked about.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say it's kind of ironic that Ethan Hawke is being given a pass considering what he said about comic book movies in the recent past. But hey, you know what? Life is about change and forgiveness, and I'm pretty sure he's happily cashing those checks he's getting from the MCU. So good on you, Ethan.
What role is he getting? Ethan Hawke, man?
Oh my God! Shut up.
Well, listen, before the next story, I do have to go. I have a family commitment, but you guys, good luck and have a good time. And to everyone out there, I will see you next time.
Thanks a lot, Keith. See you later, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for abandoning us.
I guess we can talk a little bit about it. James Gunn says that he and Margot Robbie have discussed working together, but not on Gotham, because I just talked about this last week that I called bullshit on the THR column or article. I think it was a puff piece that was paid for by Warner Brothers. That there was, speculation as to if they would be proceeding with, more James Gunn DC fun. And that was pure speculation and proof of my calling bullshit on it last time. That was back on the 11th, I think. James Gunn comes out and says, yeah, you're speculating. That conversation never happened. Yes, I did talk to her about working with her on some more with Margot Robbie. But it was not about doing what you're talking about. That never came up in conversation. So there you go. And then, of course, another thing came up, which is his predilection in our last actually, it was your episode, your show on Wednesday. We got this buttered, where I talked about his predilection for talking about kids, which I thought it's always been weird. It's always been weird. And my first experience with his interest in young people was all the way back before Facebook and MySpace. And he just posted a blog, and I followed his blog. And he was a nobody back then. He only worked on Scooby-Doo. And he posted this story that had a very, I think he was just trying to be edgy at the time. It's all I thought it was, but I didn't like it because I'm a dad of a girl. and he made a comment about a young lady that I thought was inappropriate. And the exact thing was basically this 12-year-old girl said something mean to his brother at, I think it was Six Flags, about getting on a ride. He was holding up the line and she called him a pussy.
Okay.
And, basically Gunn said, I can hardly wait till she turns 18 so I can fuck her. And that was what he said. And I'm like, what? No, it is a kid, but he's always said that, but now stuff's coming back and it's coming back to haunt him. And so there's this article today in Human Events that let me see if I can share this because I can't share and be on in the show, so I'm going to need you to kind of like look at it.
Work? Where's this show?
That, or you can share it. I don't know.
Well, I need the link to do that, right?
Yeah, I can do that. I'll send you the link because
Okay.
I'm working with one monitor right now. I'm practically handicapped.
No, you were handicapped way before the one monitor.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's a humor.
Private chat. There we go. And then you can share that, and then I can share it on the screen for you.
Why do I have to look at his face right away? What is this? Andy Warhol wannabe?
Well, that's Mr. Bean. I'm sorry. That character, the Weasel, is Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
Acts like him, walks like him, does weird shit like him. It was obvious it was Mr. Bean, and I didn't like that. But this is what they're talking about. Suicide Squad director named in underage sex assault lawsuit for hosting pedophile-themed party. James Uringer, lead singer and songwriter of Mindless Self-Indulgence, has been accused of sexual battery of a minor, according to a lawsuit filed in New York's Supreme Court on Monday. In the lawsuit, Are you talking?
No.
Oh. In the lawsuit, the anonymous woman claims that she had a sexual relationship with Uringer from January of 1997 to June of 99, at which she was a minor. As reported by Rolling Stone, the relationship began when she was just 15 and Uringer, I don't know how to pronounce his name, was 17 himself. Well, both of them were underage. The suit alleges Uringer groomed and manipulated her into believing that his sexually assaultive behavior was not criminal and that by engaging in sexual activity with him, plaintiff was actually helping to protect younger girls from sexual assaults. According to the documents obtained by Human Events News, the lawsuit also claims that Uringer attended a pedophile-themed party hosted by Marvel director James Gunn while dressed in a full-body rabbit suit.
What the?
And you can scroll down and show the document if you want to. That's down in the article. I'm not going to read that. You guys can go to the link. I'll add it in the chat. So if you guys want to go read this story, feel free to. But
going through all this, this is all PDF.
Yeah, it's a long. I'm not gonna. I like watching the lawyer channels that break these things down, but I'm not one of them, including the umbrella guy. I love him.
Oh, Tug.
When he's that umbrella guy. Hey Martin, how you doing tonight, man? So basically, look, man. I'm not going to say that there's a fire here, but usually where you see smoke, there's fire. There's some shit going on with this, and it doesn't look right. And he's always had this weird interest in young people.
Allegedly.
No, he's had an interest. It's not alleged. It's
Okay.
a history of posting and adding shit about killing children. And the new movie, I'm like, what the fuck? You want these characters to be likable? And you're admitting that they're children killers, like the Weasel. It's like 27 children. I'm like, oh my god, why the fuck did you say that? I don't know what's up with Gunn. I've had an issue with him since long before Facebook and MySpace, like I said. But we'll see. I don't know. Everything eventually comes out in the laundry. So I don't know. Well, it's a short episode tonight. I wish it could be longer. We didn't have the panelists show up, so um, we couldn't stretch things out and talk about it and just do our typical derailment, have fun. But fact is, it's a weird Friday because we're on later, and I'm not liking it, but I don't have much of a choice. What do you guys think? Should I go later than this? Because I don't like trying to go up against our friends that are obviously going to get way more watches than us. I mean, anything Tom does is going to get more watches than us. And so I don't know.
Did you see the
I
article?
wouldn't mind going later.
Did you see
What's
the
that?
article about the Green Lantern's director having a lot of regrets, saying he shouldn't have made the Green Lantern?
Yeah, I mean, he finally understands what we said. He shouldn't have made it.
Yeah.
Jeff Johns is a fucking asshole when it comes to TV and film. Stargirl is not a good show. I don't care what anybody says. I know bad writing when I see it. I know bad storytelling when I see it. And this is a technical thing. This isn't like, it's just your opinion. No, it's a technical thing. When you start talking about how story structure works and how writing works, that is just a badly written show. And the characters are not very well done. Lurking for a while. What's this? Let's hit Monkey Jeebus. First of all, Martin, of course, you're a good friend. We love you, man. Monkey Jeebus says Disney is worse. They cast Keira Knightley when she was 15. Yeah, that is a square-jawed woman. Lurking for a while, Gary. All is well. Hoping you're doing fine as well. Yeah, doing pretty good considering still in the hotel. Monkey Jeebus says she did a nude scene too. I'm trying to think that was the British film now, wasn't it? Bend It Like Beckham. Isn't that the film you're talking about?
Could have been.
I think her first film was Bend It Like Beckham.
I honestly don't remember. I've never watched it. That was the soccer one, I think. It's
never watched about female soccer team. And it's a tough time for competition, but I am in whenever. Any fire update. With the house. The word is that at some point we're just going to go into the house without permission and get all of our hard drives, but I'm definitely getting mine. It's just I don't know when it's going to happen. And everything else is a complete loss. Only thing I'm getting out of it is my hard drive. And so there you go. And of course, I'm doing thank you, Stephen, again, for the campaign. It's every little bit counts. I'm not pushing anybody to do it, but it is really nice being able to pay for this computer. And because I had to find something with the high end that's capable of doing the other things. The only problem is I don't have my second monitor, and I need to get a second monitor so I can share screens and do all that good shit. But the campaign can be found here, guys. If you want to share it, it's deeply appreciated. Contribute. Hey, Valiant Renegade, what's up? And here is the link for the GoFundMe. There is a video up on there that shows I wanted to show people, but the upstairs is gutted. It was gutted by this fire. The ceiling was gone. It's gone. It was completely burned out. But here is the link for the GoFundMe. There you go. And let's see. Hey, I would love it even a bit earlier. I don't want to choose between you and Fanzine. Because Greg's a friend of ours, a very good friend. I'm thinking later because I can't go earlier. I work Fridays now, and I am not available until after 5. So it's Central Standard Time. So it's either later or we just lose Friday. And I hate that because I love TGIF. It's one of my favorite things that we do. Zach says, "Hail, Valiant Renegade." Monkey Jeebus. It was a British movie called The Hole. I don't know if I know that one. I wonder what it is.
Sorry.
Is it sci-fi? I don't know. I'll have to look it up. That's mine.
There is one thing I
Yeah.
wanted to add quickly, and I found this interesting from the Rap getting that interview with William Dafoe. When he was asked about a returning role as Green Goblin, he essentially commented, "No comment." So that's neither yes nor no, and it's usually the play that.
Well, what was the question? What were they asking him?
Here we go. Outside of when the film's trailer might debut and whether or not the actual film could get delayed, the question of who will be starring in the project Spider-Man No Way Home, with rumors suggesting that actors from previous live-action Spider-Man franchises could appear. Among that list is William Dafoe, who portrayed the Green Goblin across Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy, and has been rumored to be reprising his role in No Way Home. In a recent interview with The Wrap, Dafoe was asked about the project and essentially commented, "No comment." "I'm afraid so," Dafoe explained. "I got lots of stuff happening now, and I always feel like when a film comes out, that's when to talk about it." So he says no comment, then he says something like that. Kind of, yeah. That would be interesting, but that wasn't really a no comment. Oh, wait and see.
Yeah, Roger. Well, we're gonna wrap it up here, Dad Man. Thanks for coming, guys. We'll do better next week, next Friday. But we got some news in here, interesting stuff, and we're out ahead of the curve on the whole James Gunn controversy with the pedo stuff. I'm not saying he's a pedo. I think that he's got a predilection for talking about pedos and pedo stuff, and it doesn't mean guilty; just means smoke.
Yeah.
But thanks for joining me, Stephen. I really appreciate it. I always
welcome.
appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
And of course, everybody in the chat. I fucking love you guys. I always look forward to seeing you guys in the chat and seeing whatever, informative to fucked up thing that you have to say. We have the best chats on our shows. We really do. Thanks again for the super sticker and super chat, Dad Man, and let's see, Zax, and I think that was it. Zax and Dad Man. Thanks a lot, guys. Deeply appreciate it. And again, that link is in the chat for the GoFundMe. It's still available, and I'm probably going to leave it up for a while until I've completely recovered from it. And with that. That's Fat Steven there, and I'm Gary, and this is Pop Culture Minefield, and we're going to end with our typical little outro. All right.
Born.
See you guys later.
Goodbye, Chocolate Mousse. I'll never forget you. Goodbye, Ducroix. Take care of yourself. Goodbye, Deja Vu. I'll always remember you. And I'll miss you most of all, Scarecrow.